Hi, it's Liz. Today we're going to be making multiple designs onto one embroidery hoop, and we're going to be making them into patches. I just want to see how they look, so they are a test run. I'm using what I have, which is cotton canvas with cut away stabilizer, and I just want to see the size of it, the dimensions, the color combinations, and so we're just going to play with it with designs that I have purchased online. So I have hooped up, this is the SQ206, so there is another hoop size bigger than this. So I did oil up my machine yesterday, which was really great. It's pretty simple to do. You just have to look in the instructions and make sure you follow it, just so that everything is running really smoothly. And also changing out your needle. I probably need to do that pretty soon. You'll start to notice definitely your needle start to have a funny sound to it. It's just not able to go through the material. So I have had the needle break during a project and actually bent, and it just created this massive bump on the back of the project. So it's just, we don't want that. All right, so first I want to select this grid. So it's saying I am SQ20B, and that is actually the one I'm going to be using, so that's perfect. So if not, I could come down here and select a different hoop size, but that is the one I'm going to be using. Now I'm going to import my designs, and just up there in the USB looking thing. So just on this side of the machine, there is a little, not a pen, but a stylizer or something, and we're gonna be doing numbers. So we're gonna do JEF0, and there's a whole bunch of different sizes, so I want to try the smallest size, and we're gonna put that and try to get as many numbers on this as possible. All right, so I'm choosing my smallest size. That's my largest size, 3.3 by 5. That's going to be my smallest size, and then I just use the up and down pad to reposition. You can do this with your finger, but it obviously is going to take a little bit longer. I want them close, but I don't want them too close. If I want to move this one over, I just have to select it. It's nice, it's a touch screen. All right, so I've added all the numbers. Now I'm just going to add some other smaller characters. So that was a stop sign, smallest work sign. We'll see how much detail that comes out in. One of the downfalls, I would say, maybe of not being able to do your own digitizing is going to be, see, it has here, it has the color and then the border, color and the border. So it's going to do each individual one. I'm going to have to switch the inside color and then switch the outside colors. Inside color, outside color, inside color. So I'll be going back and forth rather than it doing it all at once of one color and then being able to do all the outline of the same color, which would save me a lot of time. It's telling me it's going to take 84 minutes to create this design. So it's telling me there's 24 colors, but it's actually more like 24 stops, just because it's going to be doing them all individually rather than picking and choosing from a group. So it's a bit tricky for me to envision like the colors that I would want to do, but I'm going to do blue for the insides of these, and then I'm going to do white around it and see how that looks. And I think that's another tricky thing, is envisioning the colors. So I just have threaded up the machine. I'm using a blue. It's a Confetti KT609. I'm using what I have. I have had a lot of breaks with these, especially when they're high speed, even though they're mercerized cotton. So obviously long term, this isn't something that is sustainable, but we're using what we have because I'm just getting used to everything. We're gonna be starting, I think it's gonna start with the order that I put all the things in as well. So it's gonna start with the 0. All right, so it's telling me to raise my presser foot, and now it wants to do the outline. I'm going to be doing it in white. It's going to be so tough to tell, but you can actually see the stitching around there. So what I should have done, and I'll do it on the next one, is that once the 0 is done, I will take it off, I guess, and then cut it. So if I want it to be a patch. So that's going to be the tricky thing too. It'd be nice if they were all stitched in the blue, and then I could cut them all at one time and streamline the process. So the number 1 is cut out. I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to cut around it so that the white stitching can be the patchwork. All right, so I have cut around it. I'm going to put it back on. So I do need to be mindful because I'm going to have the other numbers on there that I don't cut too much into it, because otherwise it's going to shift the fabric. All right, number 1 is stitched. Now number 2, I'm definitely learning how to be patient about this. I don't like not batching things, so it is irking me a little bit, but we are going to do it. We are going to do it. I was actually thinking I'm going to ask the seller if they can batch it together, and so I can use like a smaller hoop to get it all done. But I think this is going to be successful for what it is right now. Number 6, I'm going to cut it out again. I still have 48 minutes left. All right, so we're on the home stretch. We're going to be doing number 9. It says I have 35 minutes left, so we'll see how long it takes just to do the 9, and then we'll check in to see how long that took in total, because I think we started at 84 minutes. All our numbers are done. It still says that we have 30 minutes left, so still quite a long time. So it's telling me I need to do the red. I'm guessing I'm going to be doing the stop sign first. I'm pretty sure I started that one first. So when you see something but you don't actually think that is what it's going to be. For some reason, I'm not too sure why I didn't think this was going to be a solid red color. It only makes sense. So now it's going to do a white border, but I am going to cut around it, so then it'll be like a patch as well, but just very, very solid. It says it has 19 minutes left. So I have cut all the way around it. It is now telling me that the bobbin thread may not be sufficient. So this whole red, I just put a new bobbin in for this entire one. So this entire thing was for a whole new bobbin. Crazy. Okay, I think this is the third, this is going to be the 4th bobbin that I've had to wind for this project, which is wild. Okay. So the working side has an underlay to it. You can do it with or without the underlay, but it is asking for more bobbin thread. So we're definitely on the 5th one. So definitely something to consider. Maybe doing, 4 of these at a time, or one of those, or whatever. So it's asking me to change it to black. So what I'm gonna do, the underlay, I'm gonna cut around it because I want it to be a patch. And then I'll put it back on. The black is going to be for this little person here, and then the red outline. So it says 8 minutes left for stitching. So it is all done. I did notice that this wasn't fully complete, and I just wonder, I didn't see if it was jumping stitches or what, but I'm not too sure if that's just a one-off, but I'll have to do another test run. I noticed up here, it must have jumped stitches or something. There is definitely a lot of puckering going on here. I think because of the fabric, like right here too, there's puckering because I was continuously cutting the fabric in here as well. It was shifting kind of the underlay as well, and it wasn't making it as tight, but I think I'll do another practice run, but that worked out really well. So it definitely took a long time, but it was great to do this practice run. So some final thoughts about it. So it did turn out really nice. So obviously I had like a thread break, so I have to make sure that I do go back stitches, especially around the border. I'm gonna need to get some fray check, but I think it's a great patch. This one's very sturdy. I'm gonna have to make sure I have lots of bobbins that are wound up. And what I would probably do for these ones, and these are the smallest sizes, is make sure I do them on maybe a smaller hoop and then do 4 or do multiples at a time. I want to see if I can maybe on the machine just hit the next button. So on here there is an option to go to the next stitch, so I might do that as well and see if that works, so I don't have to keep changing you know, the white and then the red and the white and the red. I think these ones were a bit harder for me because it took such a longer period of time. I'm used to, you know, 25 minutes, 10 minutes, and then this one was over an hour. So it was definitely longer to sit through just one project. I think it would be more beneficial if they were all streamlined on a larger hoop, and if they're not and I have to individually change it, a smaller hoop would be better and more sufficient. Definitely a win for both of those, and those are the smallest sizes, so I couldn't even imagine what this huge stop sign is going to look like or how big it's going to be. As for the numbers, I'm just starting to cut them. They turned out really well. 8 is the only number that I would have to cut out the middle part for. So number 9 and number 6 and 0 all have the embroidery in the middle, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. It's just the number 8, and they are nice. They're nice and sturdy-ish. I think if I use something like twill or a different piece of fabric, I mean, you can use pretty much anything, but I'm gonna have to think about the durability of them. I do like the size of them. I think it'll be interesting to see the largest size and how long that one takes compared to the smaller size, but it's great to have different options. I think with canvas, I mean, it's not stiff. You can definitely, let me see, let me crumple this one. I mean, it crumples, but it also comes back. I think if I added something on the back, if I had felt, or if I'm adding some sort of backing, that would make it more durable. But yeah, just thinking something in the long term of durability. I think the saving grace and made this process a little bit quicker are the scissors that I use, that it has the curved edges, and this is the Falmore Creative Quality Tools, the Easy Snips. It's micro serrated, titanium coated with a curved blade, and I just got this at the quilting store that's local to me. So I use the back edge to go along to the edge of the thread, so you can get really close to it, and I think it just made it so much easier. I didn't have to use any other scissors. So profitability wise, I think it's easier to figure it out when it's more individual. Like if I had all the numbers all together and then all these patches together. But I think in the end, like if this takes maybe 15-20 minutes, depending on how much you want to sell it as a patch. This is also the smallest size, so it really just depends on what you're using it. So I think it'd be really neat to make like a felt story about a construction set, or you can leave out different pieces and what the, you know, bulldozer sees along the journey. So it definitely need to be more streamlined, but the fact that this is only 2 colors and this is 3 colors makes a huge difference. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know which one was your favorite design. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!